Hi, I'm Mo, and cocaine is one hell of a drug.
And I'm TJ, and I think we both know who the Dr. Watson on this podcast is.
Yeah, we do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. We're in agreement.
Yeah, we are. Definitely. And this is...
It's still new to us, damn it.
Welcome to A Student of Us, damn it. I'm Mo, he's TJ, and we are two guys here to watch every movie ever made to be interesting at parties, which hopefully we'll be invited to very soon.
Here's hoping.
Very soon, hopefully.
My mom's really getting worried about me that I might not have developed properly.
Yeah.
That I might be socially awkward. That I might be unliked by my peers.
Yeah, hopefully you're not. And hopefully we get invited soon, TJ. I think we will, okay? I can feel it.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers
baby.
crossed.
You people are killing my mom.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Hey.
like Mo said, our goal is to watch every movie ever made. And last week we had a dud.
A dud, yeah.
Yeah, we watched, there was this 7-Year Itch, and we spun the wheel as always. And we forgot to broadcast that one.
Yeah, we did.
But we did spin the wheel.
Yes.
And we landed on another Billy Wilder movie, a lesser known one, I'd say, right? That's fair to say.
Yeah, definitely.
No upskirt shots of
No.
Dr. Watson.
Definitely.
We landed on The Private Life of Sherlock Holmes.
Yes.
Yes. Did you know anything about this movie?
I did not at all, no. I've never really seen a lot of Sherlock movies. I've seen Sherlock the TV series, but then, I don't know, I guess they got bad, and everybody just stopped watching it, and I just stopped watching it after, like, the first 2 seasons.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, we missed the banter.
Oh, we missed the banter.
What do you think will happen during the NBA draft?
I think somebody will streak on stage, and it will be the first successful streaker ever in NBA history.
That would be great.
That'd be great, yeah.
Been watching anything new since the last time I talked to you?
Last time, not really. Let's see. Anything else I've been watching? No, it's mostly these films we watched. TV. I'm watching Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you. Did you actually get from the first season and everything?
Yeah, I'm trying to get to the first season right now. I know the
It's
first
rough.
season. Yeah, first season's like,
Fucking rough.
I had to watch the episode where Wesley's taking like the entrance exam to the academy. And I
Yeah.
was like, oh, this is so fucking boring.
There is at least there are 2 good episodes at least in that season. You know, the one. Have you gotten to the one conspiracy? It's called about. I don't want to spoil anything because it's actually one of the good first season episodes. I won't say anything. I'll talk to you once you're on season 2.
Okay.
But good. I'm glad you're watching.
Yeah, I skipped the one where they killed the security officer, the blonde lady. I skipped that one.
Yep.
Because I was like, whatever.
You skipped it?
I skipped. Was that one of the best ones?
Of all the ones, I mean, it's at least memorable for her dying.
Yeah, she died, and I was like, okay, she's dead. And I was like, I don't care. I watched one today where a bunch of parasites tried to take over the Star Trek.
Yeah, Starfleet.
Starfleet, yeah.
Yes, that's the one I was going to ask you
Yeah,
about.
that was a
I
good
love
one.
that one.
That was a good
yeah,
one.
I love that episode.
That was definitely it. I watched the one where Picard, the one with the 2 planets, and the other one's making the other planet into drug addicts to profit off them.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Yep.
I like that one. Yeah.
Yeah, see, there are some gems in one. It's just that season 1's always remembered for being like the Code of Honor season. That's the episode with, the bad guys are basically just black people.
Oh, really?
Do you remember, like, they're making their own people, like, fight? To be honest, it's been years since I
Oh
watched
yeah, the
it.
Code of Honor, where like
Yes.
they're in like a
and
weird.
Worf has to fight one of them. I remember, dude, it's bad. It's
That's
just
the one
bad.
where like the head security officer, the blonde lady, had to fight a girl
Yes,
to marriage
exactly.
in like
yes.
a weird fucked up cage thing.
Yes.
That was definitely
That was infamous.
Yeah, that was definitely like an old 1960s Star Trek script.
100%.
Yeah.
And that I think that's been documented. They took unused scripts from that.
Yeah, you can definitely tell. You're like,
Absolutely.
okay, this is from 1960s Star Trek, definitely. So no, Gene Roddenberry had input the first season, but he had very difficulties with the cast. And did he leave before he died, or did he die?
I think he died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so they just took it over after that. So,
And I hate to say, but it was for the better, or at least for the show.
Yeah.
I think by that point, it moved past his original vision. But I'm glad you're watching it.
I don't know
That's cool.
I don't know if I like the Ferengi that much.
They get better.
Yeah, okay.
They were supposed to be like the Klingons of the Next Generation, where like the Klingons were like the main big, memorable big bad of the '60s show.
Yeah.
The Ferengi are not ever really gonna, they're not gonna reach that level. So eventually they're relegated to a mid card. We'll do a little wrestling type lingo. They failed their push.
Yeah.
But they found a nice spot in the mid-card.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And if you do carry on, I highly recommend Deep Space Nine and Voyager. I also understand that that's a ton of Star Trek.
That's true, yeah.
Lot. But those
I didn't know there were like 26
excellent.
episodes a season. That's insane.
Oh, yeah. Isn't that crazy to think how TV used to be done like that?
That's insane.
I mean, the only other thing that obviously shows still do that, like the Arrow, the Arrowverse shows, Green Arrow and Flash and whatnot, CW shows. But that is crazy. That they used to be like that. But there's a charm to it where not everything's serialized and you can just pick out an individual episode and watch it without knowing what happened last week. Yeah. It is nice.
I would say like the Q episodes were good. Mm-hmm. I like those.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the other. The premiere is good.
Yeah, the premiere is good. Yeah. I don't find Wesley Crusher annoying yet. Will I? I don't know.
I never hated him.
Yeah, I don't know.
He was just a Deus Ex. He would be like this. He would come up with the solution at the end of half the episodes he was in.
Yeah, Data's awesome. I love Brett Spiner, especially when he was in Night Court for like a small episode appearances.
Nice.
Yeah, he was great. He played this very poor couple from Kentucky who moved to the city. He was hilarious, and the worst things would happen to them.
That's funny.
That was great. So hopefully he continue down this path. I really love Lower Decks, so that's why I decided to keep on watching Star Trek, because I was just like, okay, I got to get these references. So
the listeners might not know this, but that is the most you thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Where you've never seen an episode of any of the media, and you jump into the most recent show.
Yeah.
I respect it. I respect the hell out of it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Listeners who do not know, I've watched the series finale of a lot of famous shows without ever watching the full series.
I watched the finale of Game of Thrones with you.
Yeah.
You were the only person I know whose favorite episode of Game of Thrones is the finale.
Yes, because that's the only episode I've ever seen. I've seen the final episode of The Sopranos. I've never seen The Sopranos. I've seen the final episode of Breaking Bad. I've never seen any episode of Breaking Bad.
Well, luckily, those finales, The Sopranos and Breaking Bad, you could argue that the finales are the best episode. I mean, I could definitely hear that opinion out. Well, good. I'm glad to hear you're enjoying that. I forgot to mention last time that I've been slowly and steadily watching through Columbo.
Ooh.
I am on the last leg of it, where they were like the movies from the 90s and on.
Yeah. Oh, we're going to see George Wendt?
Oh, I know he's in one. I have not gotten to that yet. Oh. That's a real late one. I probably have like 7 left. I just watched one with Faye Dunaway.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was good.
That's cool.
That was good. Mm-hmm. That's a good show. I'm glad that I watched Columbo.
Definitely.
I've been really, really enjoying that. Peter Falk is was a treasure, man.
I gotta get back on that track. I started watching in the morning, but I just couldn't pay attention to it.
Well, it's tough too because they are movies. They're not episodes per se. They're movies. They're over an hour each. It is time consuming.
Yeah, definitely.
But highly, highly enjoying the Columbo.
Yeah. Speaking of Columbo, the movie we watched was a episode of Columbo.
Yeah, and I hope that was sufficient banter to pad out the runtime of this podcast, because we've got another Billy Wilder movie that I don't know how to talk about too much, In the Private Life of Sherlock Holmes.
Yes. The Private Life of Sherlock Holmes, released in 1970, directed by Billy Wilder, Some Like It Hot, and The Front Page, a movie that, what's her name? Carol Burnett apologized for, because it was so bad.
No way.
And if you watch the Rudy Ray Moore movie, they saw it in theaters, and it was terrible.
Oh, boy.
Not funny at all.
And that was a Billy Wilder movie?
That was a Billy Wilder movie, yeah. Written by I.A.L. Diamond, the first time I ever heard somebody with 3 initials in their first name. The Apartment, and 2 guys from Milwaukee. Who are those 2 guys? We don't know. We never will.
But they're from Milwaukee?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
And Billy Wilder, starring Robert Stevens, Empire of the Sun, and The Bonfire of the Vanities.
Nice.
One of the worst movies ever made. We'll watch that movie one day, and we'll be like, oh, this is terrible. Why did we watch it?
You've never seen it?
No.
Me neither.
Genevieve Page, Beyond Therapy, and Decline and Fall of a Birdwatcher. Colin Blakely, Murder on the Orient Express, and The Day the Fish Came Out.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so that's good. They have gay fish back then, so that's good.
Kanye.
Yeah, definitely. And of course, the most famous actor from this movie, in cinema-wise, was Christopher Lee, best known for The Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring, and Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones.
Very diverse.
Yes.
Very diverse set
Very
of films
diverse.
there.
Of course, he was Dracula, and he was in a bunch of Hammer films. He's
Scaramanga, the man with the golden gun.
Yes.
And the third nipple from James Bond.
Yes. He was Fu Manchu.
Oh, God.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah, but Christopher Lee, very famous, legendary actor who's been in I think over like 200 films.
The Wicker Man.
The Wicker Man,
That's a
yes,
good
he was
one.
in The Wicker Man.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that's who's in The Private Life of Sherlock Holmes and who wrote it. TJ, what the fuck is this movie about?
Well, I'm glad you asked. The Private Life of Sherlock Holmes details a previously untold adventure by the legendary detective. When a Belgian woman, Gabrielle Valadon, shows up at Holmes' home on Baker Street, she requests his help in locating her engineer husband who has gone missing. Their search for Mr. Valadon eventually brings them to Scotland, where they find little help from the locals, as well as a mystery involving canaries, sulfuric acid, little people, a deceased Mr. Valadon, and the Loch Ness Monster. As Holmes moves to solve the mystery of Mr. Valadon's death, he finds help through an unexpected ally, his brother Mycroft, who initially dissuades Sherlock from pursuing the mystery any further. When Sherlock insists on pushing forward, Mycroft reveals that Nessie herself is a disguised submarine being developed on behalf of the British Navy. The little people were its crewmen, the canaries were brought on board to detect poisonous chlorine fumes, and Mrs. Valadon was really German spy Ilse von Hofmannsthal, whose mission was to steal the submarine. Ultimately, the Queen disapproves of the submarine and orders its destruction, and von Hofmannsthal is captured and executed during her next mission. Upon hearing that news, Sherlock Holmes does the adult thing and retires to his bedroom with a 7% cocaine cocktail. In the end, little hilarity ensues.
Thank you, TJ.
How about that, retiring with a cocaine? I'm not an expert, but I don't think people relax with cocaine.
No.
I don't think it's something you take into the
Exactly.
bedroom and enjoy before bed.
No, you don't have like a drink of cocoa and a snort of cocaine before bed. No. No.
Not usually.
Definitely not, no.
Okay, so that's about the by and short of it. And you might have noticed, dear listeners, that how I read this was that Mycroft Holmes, Sherlock's brother,
Yeah.
reveals all the information about the mystery.
Yeah.
And that is correct.
Yeah.
At least that's how I read this movie. That
That's
happened
it.
in
He
your cut
explained, he
too?
explained everything, and that's mostly it.
Yeah.
That was the end. It was like, oh, Sherlock Holmes, you fool. And it was like, I was explaining to you everything that happened, and then everything happened, and then the movie ended.
Right.
Yeah. So this movie is like the very end of Wilder's filmmaking stages. I mean, his last film was Buddy Buddy, I think in 1981, with Walter Matthau and Jack Lemmon. He made a bunch of Jack Lemmon, Walter Matthau movies in the 70s, The Front Page being one of them. This definitely, I mean, I think this was better than 7-Year Itch, but as we know, this Sherlock helped develop another Sherlock, the one we see in the the most recent Sherlock TV series, Sherlock, starring Benedict Cumberbatch and Martin Freeman. So you can definitely see the influence of that movie to that TV show, definitely.
This isn't where the hat comes from, is it?
No. I don't think that's been written in for like years in books, and he even says it like you can always, like when he was like talking to Watson, like you always make these stories more ridiculous than they are. You make me wear this ridiculous outfit. You say I'm the amazing violin player that should be in orchestra and stuff like that. Yeah, that's always been there.
And that would have been interesting. That plot line would have been interesting if they'd done something else with it, because they do make. Here's what I know is I saw the poster of the movie, when I went to go watch it on Tubi, and or when I was on Wikipedia, sorry, and it says like the tagline or the hook on the poster says, "What you don't know about Sherlock Holmes has made it a great motion picture." They make it sound like it's some tell-all or something. Like it's
I thought that was gonna be
crazy shit about Sherlock Holmes that you'd never guess.
Well,
When all it was just a new Sherlock Holmes story. That's all this was.
Just true. Well, he does cocaine. That's all we know. That's the new thing. He does cocaine. I don't know.
I feel like that was written about though because Dr. House is based on Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, really?
Yes, and now I haven't watched House, but I know he's based on Sherlock Holmes and that he uses pain medication.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I do think that is something that's established with the character. I think it's like his only real vice, or something. Like when he's not solving a mystery, he needs something to stimulate him. So he snorts cocaine and goes to bed.
Yeah,
it's extreme. It's extreme sports equivalent of sleeping.
Yeah. Now I would say the very strength of this movie is Watson and Sherlock Holmes, their relationship, their banter. It's really fun. Sherlock is very witty, very nasty, and like snarky and stuff like that, which is great to Watson, who is very kind and wants to have sex with a Russian ballerina, bunch of women. Yeah, a bunch of women. Yeah, but yeah, great chemistry between the two. I would say that was definitely the most fun part, and then I don't know, like the mystery was interesting. I must say in the beginning, but once everything is revealed, it's like it's boring because it's like you didn't like. There's no shock to it. You're just like, this is what happened. You were wrong about everything, and then like they don't even use the big weapon at the end because it's just like the Queen's like, no, I don't want it, and that's it.
Yeah,
it was.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Robert Stevens and Colin Blakely were definitely the highlights of this movie. They had a good chemistry. They were fun to watch. Like you said, it definitely probably added to the Sherlock, the
mythos.
The mythos, yeah, exactly. But it's just, again, it's just so mundane.
Yeah,
it's just another Sherlock Holmes story.
That's true.
I misspoke a little earlier. He did solve aspects of the mystery, but not like the biggest parts of it.
Yeah,
the biggest parts were revealed by his brother, Mycroft, played by the one and only Christopher Lee.
Yeah, of Star Wars 2, Attack of the Clones. Yeah,
and that was an interesting way to go about it, right?
Yeah. It just took all the drama out of it. It was just like, oh, it's over. I was like,
And it almost felt like The Big Lebowski, where there's like a really legitimately interesting mystery going on, but it takes such a back seat to
all the crazy shit that's going on.
Right. Yeah. Right. It's a kind of an interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know. It is ultimately an unsatisfying. Well, the conclusion actually itself on paper is really cool, I think, of the mystery, but for some reason, just the way it's solved, it just comes off.
It should have been like a Bond film, It's just like you see that when the very end, he turns on them and it's like, oh, and then he figures out a way to stop her, and then like bam. But this is not James Bond; it's Sherlock Holmes, so it's completely different. Now, I am not known to the Sherlock Holmes lore or the movies before this or the books and stuff like that. So maybe this would be a way that Sherlock Holmes would do it, Maybe, but once again, I've never read anything about Sherlock Holmes or never read any of the books. I've only seen Sherlock and. That's an updated version, and that's definitely Benedict Cumberbatch took his performance from Robert Stevens and just put it in the Sherlock. So just like it was just the drama ended when like the movie. I know that when I said the drama ended when the movie ended, but like there was no drama at all after everything was revealed.
Could that maybe that's the distinction. We're so used to that leading man, that John McClane or James Bond, where they're the ones in direct peril. Sherlock Holmes doesn't really come into direct peril. It's almost like, even like a homicide detective, they're usually not in direct peril.
Yeah.
They're there well after the peril is gone.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Maybe that's the distinction, or it's like a play on, your brother helped you solve this, is maybe a play on how Watson was embellishing the stories to sell them, to make them sound. Maybe?
Maybe, yeah, because then Sherlock Holmes was embellishing the story.
And
to make it more interesting, and then his brother said, "Oh no, this is not interesting at all."
Let me ask you, why did you think that it was in his will that this story not be read until 50 years after his death?
I guess because he was embarrassed because he thought it was something more than it really was, but it was something more than it really was. And if they would have done it in like a more exciting way, then this movie would have been amazing. It would have been great.
I know.
But they didn't do it in an exciting way. The guy just visited his brother. Because I guess I don't know the Mycroft background that well. So is he always supposed to like one up his brother and be like, oh, you fool, Sherlock Holmes?
I think he is brilliant. I think he's also intelligent.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah. He's supposed to be like smarter than Holmes or something. But it wasn't like if they just would have like I don't know like they discovered the submarine and then like the woman turns on him and then Mycroft just comes in and like. Helps them out or something, and they're in like a battle.
The way you say that sometimes sounds like Mein Kampf.
Like Mein
Kampf
or Minecraft. Yes. Oh god.
No, I'm just messing with you.
Yeah.
But I will say this: you'll let me know once you've watched Elementary, Dear Data. You'll like that episode.
Okay.
But regardless, I don't know. I will say I think this movie was more entertaining than 7 Year Itch.
Yeah, definitely.
By all means.
It was more funnier, more wittier, definitely. And I also like the subtext of either Sherlock Holmes is gay. So that's actually very good. Yeah,
I think that was pretty much
that adds an element to like maybe why he doesn't want to tell the story, or like Like maybe they explain Sherlock Holmes' behavior or something like that.
It should be worth noting, I think he's either gay or asexual. Maybe he doesn't have the sexual urge. That's always possible.
That's
but
possible.
yeah, he definitely is not into women, and he even gets out of a marriage proposal from a famous Russian ballerina by telling her that
he is gay
and Watson
with
are
Watson.
a couple. Which does lead to a silly scene of Watson dancing with a bunch of women who replace themselves with men, and it is pretty funny.
Yeah. These Russians were very accepting of it, so that's good.
Yeah, that was actually nice.
Yeah.
And I like the guy, because the guy looks so gruff the whole time, and he says, oh, it might not, it might be weird to the rest of the world, but we see that all the time in ballerina, or in, the ballet, rather.
Yeah. I didn't know the whole time she was going to ask him to, like, give her a child. I knew the whole time. I was like,
it seemed pretty obvious.
Yeah, I was just like, okay, he's going to ask her to, like, marry her or something, We introduced to Genevieve's character,
Gabrielle Valadon.
It got interesting. We didn't know what would happen. We were just like, oh, a woman pops up out of the cold. She was thrown into a river.
Yes.
And then she's just in shock, and we don't know what's gonna happen. And then it just gets more interesting. We're like, okay, why is there 6 midgets? Why are they missing?
Yeah.
Why they're just all connecting, and like, why is
the
her
canaries?
husband?
Why are these people buying canaries?
Why is people buying canaries? How come like her husband's dead? Like, this is interesting. And of course, once again, once everything's revealed, nothing happens.
Well, and there's like no suspense even with like the monks.
Yeah.
Throughout this movie, you see that there are like these monks.
Oh
that
yeah,
are
yeah.
everywhere with them.
Yeah, we think they're gonna have like a big fight scene or something. No, they die in a fiery explosion because the queen doesn't want the shit.
But on top of that too, the film didn't need to show that Gabrielle was with them. She kept signaling with her umbrella.
Yeah.
That it was some kind of signal anyway. The movie clues you in right away that she's obviously not who she says she is.
Yeah.
Or at least that she's in cahoots with these nefarious-looking monks.
Yeah. You know what would have been good? Like, say, they went to the castle before Minecraft got in, like, visited Holmes, and then like they discovered the submarine. Like, they're like, oh, what is this? And it's like, oh, like this must be the Loch Ness monster, and so then all of a sudden, Genevieve's character turns on them, and the monks come out and everything, and it's like, well, thank you very much, Mr. Holmes. And then Sherlock Holmes like does something, maybe I don't know, like smoke bomb or something, I don't know, like he has some plan that can help him escape this. And then they get into a big fight. I don't know if they had guns back then that could constitute a gunfight in that way, but
they would have had some kind of fire.
Some kind of something. There's like something big, something to boost up the tension.
Yeah. But
all the tension was gone. I mean, the real resolution was the queen was going to write to her nephew, who is the German chancellor or something, or the czar, and it's like, oh, you can't do that. And it's like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was it. And then, like, I don't know, Sherlock Holmes felt some heartbreak because I guess he was falling for Genevieve. So then she died in a Japanese camp or Japanese prison.
Yes.
Yeah, and then he did some cocaine, and then that's the end of the tale.
Yep.
Yeah.
And heartwarming.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, they do play it up to, or make it seem like he's gay, ultimately, but then what do you think his attachment to the German spy was then? Was it...
I don't think it was pure attraction. I don't think that was it.
Maybe just a professional...
Maybe, or maybe she found like she was a mystery, and he was trying to solve that mystery, and that would intrigue him.
Oh yeah, I guess that's it. She fooled him.
Yeah,
that's probably
she fooled him. Yeah,
yeah. There we go.
Definitely.
Look at that. We talked it out. We got
definitely.
There. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Do you think it would have been more? See, I like your pitched ending there, but again, we have to acknowledge that we're projecting a James Bond. That is a James Bond ending.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, Mr. Holmes. It appears, like she might as well be stroking a cat. Again, unlike you, I don't really know anything about Sherlock Holmes' lore outside of that Star Trek Next Generation episode. And I don't really know if that's a reliable source. So I don't know if he was ever like a scrapper.
You know what exactly, I mean? Yeah.
I think he was more Professor Layton type, on the scene, solving the mysteries the non-violent way.
Yeah.
But I like where your head's at. Mm-hmm. I definitely think they shouldn't have clued us off that the monks were German sailors or military or whatever. Mm-hmm. But what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
I like seeing Christopher Lee, Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, Christopher Lee in this movie.
Yeah, that was great.
He was very young.
Mm-hmm.
Very young in this movie.
Yeah. another, I guess, problem of this movie, I would say, it felt like a TV movie. Did not feel like an actual like movie
100%.
in the cinema. It's not really the cheapest. The budget was $10 million, but it did not look $10 million. I think that it went into the sets mostly, definitely, but it was shot in color, which I thought was actually really good. But yeah, it just felt like, especially the music. The music was just playing the whole time. It felt like a TV show I was watching. It wasn't feeling like a movie because I know music plays a lot during movies, but this felt like every scene there was like some kind of some kind of transitional scene or like transitional music. It was just
cue.
Yeah, it felt very cheap and definitely felt like an episode of Columbo itself. Which,
yeah. It is worth noting. I think that the costumes and the set design is good. But yes, I even have this in my notes. I said everything is technically sound and well done, but this movie ultimately it just feels like one of those movies that you'd find on AMC on a rainy day back in the day.
Yeah.
You'd just be flipping through and you'd find this, or it'd be on Turner Classic Movies in front of the treadmill at the gym, and you're thinking to yourself, who watches TCM at the gym? But whatever.
Yeah.
It's one of those movies.
Definitely.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. And I wouldn't say it's a bad movie. I would just say that it's one that I think I enjoyed watching it. I don't see myself watching it again.
Yeah. I don't know if he filmed this in Britain or not, which could explain the cheapness quality of it.
No, because it says so in the credits that they filmed it actually in Scotland.
Okay, yeah. Because they definitely had probably better cameras in Britain than they do in Hollywood. And yeah, so that actually explains a lot. But yeah, this didn't feel like it felt like a Billy Wilder movie with all the quips and everything and the humor, but then, I don't know, just kind of fizzle out.
They did nail the chemistry between those two.
Definitely.
And Robert Stevens, despite I don't think I've seen him in anything other than...
He's a very famous stage actor. I think on Wikipedia they said he's up there with Laurence Olivier as one of the great stage people in British history.
That's pretty high praise there.
Yeah, definitely.
But he was very good.
Yeah.
He was very, very good.
He's very good.
So was Colin Blakely.
Genevieve Page was good. I liked her. Yeah. And also Christopher Lee. So the acting on this is phenomenal.
Yeah, the acting
so that's
really
very good. So because the acting in the movie before, the 70 Inch, was just okay. It wasn't funny at all. It was just basically 1950s humor. We try to watch it in today's eyes, which did not work. So I don't. What else can we say about this movie? There's not really much to say about it because unfortunately, once the drama's over, I mean, I wish it really got into more of the 6 midgets maybe. That would have been fun. The 6 little people.
Sure.
Yeah. Maybe they should have stuck with that.
They had a clue that 6, little people were hired for mysterious purposes, and the reason that they was because they take up less space in the submarine.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons that they find this out is because they find a newspaper clipping that mentions 2 little people dead as well as Mr. Valadon.
Yeah.
And they learned that they were killed in an accident with the submarine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked seeing the 19th century lifestyle they were living. Watson was wearing a tuxedo and and that's his comfortable clothes.
Yeah.
He's wearing a tux and a smoking jacket. And that's
wild.
Comfortable. I'm that's not comfortable.
I thought the same in the last movie too, when Tom Ewell invites her downstairs for a drink and he puts a suit coat on.
Yeah.
And it's dude, this is how I dress.
No wonder why people were so angry back then and
I know.
The fact they were 55-year-old when they were 29.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Oh,
they wore suits all day. They smoked. They drank. Just
yeah. But no, you're right about that. It is fun to see the old timey.
Yeah, I love the tub he was in. The little tub that Sherlock Holmes was in was just for one person. That was fun. Yeah.
No, you don't see those anymore.
Yeah.
What'd you think of Nessie?
That was good. I liked that. That was fun.
It was fun.
Yeah. I wish I wish that was in the climax. Of the climax of the film.
I know.
They something to do with the Nessie thing, and there's something. Maybe Sherlock Holmes is riding in the Nessie. Maybe that should be it.
That would have been cool.
Maybe he escapes
in Nessie.
Yeah, he escapes in Nessie, and then the chasing
that
him.
would have been cool.
That would have been cool.
Yeah. That would have been really cool.
Yeah. That was a little fun seeing Nessie.
It was.
Yeah.
Do you think the monster's real?
I'll give why not?
Cool.
Mm-hmm. So that was mostly the whole movie.
Did you know that Loch Ness monster prop is lost?
Yeah, I think I read that somewhere.
Yeah. So it got lost during filming. I guess Billy Wilder wanted it changed or altered in some way, and like parts of it cut off, and the people in charge of that told them, hey, it might not float. They cut it off anyway, and it sank. And then it was rediscovered in 2016 by an expedition to find the Loch Ness Monster.
Sweet.
Imagine being on that. Imagine being on that expedition. You're looking for the Loch Ness Monster, and you find it briefly, and you're like, "Holy shit! I found the monster!" And then, no.
That was great.
Yeah, I guess I never realized just how big Loch Ness is.
Yeah, it must be huge.
Yeah, it must be.
Mm-hmm. In my notes, I have Dorito Papa John sandwich because I saw a commercial for Doritos Papa John sandwich when I was watching the movie on Tubi.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, very good.
Yeah. So
Papa John's could sponsor us.
Yeah, they're not racist anymore, so it's fine. Yeah.
Oh jeez, I know they threw Shaq in there as the new guy real quick, didn't they?
Yeah.
He's likable.
He is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's mostly Sherlock Holmes. It was a movie that was good in the beginning, very interesting. I was intrigued by the mystery, but then just teetered out at the very end, and didn't really land the stick.
Yeah. Stick the landing.
Stick the landing. Yeah.
No, I hear you.
Yeah. So I guess we're going to our final thoughts. I guess
Sure.
I just gave mine. I don't know. This movie was good. The acting was phenomenal. The sets and the costumes were great. The acting was great. But once again, it just teetered out, at the very end. The Queen was a little bit funny, at least.
Yeah, that was funny.
But I would give this 2.5 out of 6. I would say
2.5. Okay.
2.5 out of 6. Yeah, a little bit better than Some Like It Hot, but not that much better.
Some Like It Hot or the 7-Year Itch?
The 7-Year Itch. See, I would rather watch Some Like It Hot than the 7-Year Itch.
I know. I was excited to watch that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much else to say. If you like Sherlock Holmes and you like the mise en scène of a 19th century apartment or whatever, go ahead and watch it. You could do far worse.
Yeah.
Watch it on a rainy Sunday and you got nothing better to do. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
I'll give it a 3 out of 6.
Yeah.
That's about as generous. You know what? No, I'm going to give it a 2.75.
2.75?
Yeah, I don't want to be too generous with those 3s.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't have too much else to say about this one.
Yeah, I guess we'll go into the nitty-gritty. Let's go into the nitty-gritty of it all. Okay, so the reception of this movie, Ebert and Cisco did do reviews of this, luckily.
Oh, yeah.
So Ebert gave it 2.5 stars.
Oh, in 1970.
Yeah.
I guess so.
So I think Cisco did Beyond the Valley of the Dolls in 1968, I believe, or 1967, I forget. I don't know when he was on the paper.
Siskel or Ebert?
Oh, Ebert. Sorry, Ebert. Cisco's not.
I thought he did. That's okay.
There we go. He writes, quote, Billy Wilder's The Private Life of Sherlock Holmes is disappointingly lacking in bite and sophistication. First two qualities we expect from the director of The Apartment and The Fortune Cookie. It begins promisingly enough with Sherlock being offered £5 to chase 6 midgets, acrobats, and complaining that less than £1 a midget. There's some sliding innuendos in relationship between Dr. Watson, introduced solely to disprove. Sherlock, you'll be glad to learn, is sophisticatedly hetero in Wilder's version. But before the movie is 20 minutes old, Wilder has settled simply for telling a Sherlock Holmes adventure. So yeah, you're basically saying what you're saying. Like, he's just like, instead of finding out the personal life of Sherlock Holmes, we just get another Sherlock Holmes movie.
Yeah, I was interested to see the personal life of Sherlock.
Yeah,
What are you going to do?
Because I don't know what that movie would be like. What would the private life, like, what, we just going to see him just fall in love, or like...
Cocaine.
I
don't know,
Yeah, we see him go down like a bender, maybe, try
that
to
would have
find
been something, bored.
Yeah, being bored, and it's like, he loses himself, and then Watson is trying to get him back,
See, that would have been interesting.
Maybe you could add a mystery to that too, because you can find out, like, maybe he's ruined now. Maybe he's ruined. The cocaine has taken over, and now Watson tries to find him, and he's trying to get him back in the game.
That would be interesting.
That'd be interesting. Yeah.
This was just another story.
Yeah.
Sherlock Holmes.
Maybe they should have done when he was engaged once, right? He said that. Maybe they should have done that story.
That would have been great.
Yeah, that would have been great, but they didn't do it. Continue. But they pass up the chance and bore us with us while Holmes laboriously unravels a case involving a midget acrobats, a missing husband, Trappist monks, the Loch Ness Monster, dead canaries, and a copper ring that has turned green. It takes Holmes about half an hour longer to solve this case than it takes us. and poor Watson never catches on. We missed a sense of satirical fun, and as I've suggested, but that alone needn't have been fatal. The movie might have worked better if the case itself had been more interesting, which it was, but unfortunately, when it revealed everything, it wasn't interesting at all.
It was interesting until it wasn't.
Yeah, exactly. If, say, Wilder and Diamond had submerged Holmes in a story so filled with complications, clues, dead ends, mystery strangers, and double whammies that they were just confused as he was. Yeah, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that, definitely.
Yeah, it doesn't have like that suspense feel that a Knives Out or a Murder on the Orient Express or anything along like it doesn't have that type of feel. It's also mundane and anticlimactic. Unfortunately, there's no sense of danger.
No sense of danger. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which.
I don't need him to be guns blazing, but on a mystery, a good.
Yeah, maybe
I love a good
fist fight. Maybe a sword fight, something like that. He fights with the cane he has.
Dude, I've literally felt more tension from a Scooby-Doo episode.
Yeah.
You know.
Cisco gave it 1.5 stars. A conventional and not very well written mystery that made it seem though Wilder had enough of an idea for a television variety show skit, but unfortunately saw fit to expand it into a movie.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Which is like the hardest thing of what we said.
Yeah.
This is like a TV movie. But it should have been a TV movie instead of an actual full-length movie. Okay, yeah. The Oscars for that year, this was not nominated for an Oscar. And I think it was nominated for maybe a WGA award or a Directors Guild award. I don't know. But it wasn't nominated for any Oscars. The Oscars that year was Patton, Airport, 5 Easy Pieces, Love Story, and MASH. So actually a way better year. Even though I've seen MASH, and that's a very mean movie. It's very mean.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I've not seen it or the show.
Yeah.
Eventually I'll have to watch it.
Yeah. Patton, of course, one of those great war movies starring George C. Scott. That one of the George C. Scott did not go to the ceremony of the Oscars and wanted to return the Oscar itself. He didn't want the Academy Award.
Why?
He just didn't like. He just like, no, I'm an actor. I don't do this for awards. So
Dude,
just take it.
That's badass.
Yeah.
That's actually.
He's
really
like, I don't want
cool.
it. Just get rid of it. I don't want it. Airport. That's one of the. That was like one of the first like disaster movies. Yeah. 5 Easy Pieces. That's Jack Nicholson. That's on Criterion. So if you want to go, guys, want to check that out, do that, please. That's one of method acting. That's the collection is under. Love Story. I think this was what's his name? Not Roy Schneider. Who was in Jaws with Roy Schneider? Roy Schneider.
Robert Shaw and then oh my God, Roy Schneider. Richard Dreyfuss.
Yeah, I think that was Richard Dreyfuss' first movie, Love Story.
Cool.
I think so.
Okay.
I think so. Yeah, because that was a big hit.
Is that the one about with the line being in love means never having to say you're sorry? Or am I thinking of something else?
Yeah, no, I thought it was Jerry Maguire for a second, but I think that's it.
It is starring Ryan O'Neal.
Oh, that was Ryan O'Neal, not Richard Dreyfuss. Okay, so I was wrong about that. Yeah, that makes sense because Richard Dreyfuss was in American Graffiti, and he was like way younger. But I could have sworn Richard Dreyfuss was in Love Story.
Yeah, it is from this movie. Love means never having to say you're sorry.
Love means never having to say you're sorry.
How stupid is that?
Yeah.
Nice.
And MASH was a Robert Altman film based on the book. Very mean. It's like it's supposed to be a comedy, but it's just very mean. I mean, I don't know. They didn't make the enemy mean enough to make it funny. So it just seems like a bunch of men playing tricks on a woman very cruelly.
That
so
sucks.
yeah, definitely. It doesn't have the charm as the TV series, even though I know Robert Altman hated the TV series. But I think the TV series did a way better job than Robert Altman did in the film.
Nice.
Yeah. The top 10 films of 1970. Love Story number 1. Airport number 2. MASH number 3. Number 4 was Patton, which... So yeah, that's insane. The 2 of the top 4 movies of the year was nominated for the Oscars.
Nice.
Never going to see that again.
No, you won't.
No, we don't. No. Number 5 was Woodstock. Number 6 was Little Big Man. No idea what that's about.
Okay.
Number 7 was Tora.
Ooh.
Yeah. Number 8, Ryan's Daughter. Number 9 was Catch-22, which is just like MASH.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I'm aware of that.
And number 10 was The Owl and the Pussycat.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Little Big Man's a Western, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. In Woodstock, of course, that means the documentary.
Dustin
Woodstock.
Hoffman. It's a Dustin Hoffman vehicle.
Ooh, cool.
Yeah, and Faye Dunaway.
But the fun facts about this film. With a 260-page script and a budget of $10 million, this was set to be a 2 hour and 45-minute roadshow movie with an intermission for comfort. It was to be the big one for Billy Wilder. The shooting schedule ran for 6 months and resulted in a rough cut of the same in 3 hours and 20 minutes. The movie was originally restricted as a series of very strictly restricted linked episodes with each particular title and theme. Which makes sense, because it felt like a TV movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. The opening sequence was featured Watson's grandson in London claiming to inherited dispatch box from Cox and Company. There was also a flashback to Holmes' Oxford days to explain his distrust of women. So that adds further on. Okay, that would make way more sense. And actually would get into the private life of Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah. And then I love this. So what happened?
Oh, jeez, nice.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so what happened?
So what happened? Well, it appears that United Artists suffered several major movie flops back in 1969 that pretty much scrubbed the roadshow format for Wilder's massive project. Studio execs ordered the movie to be cut to a full, regular theatrical running time.
That sucks.
Which dwindled down to a 2 hour and 5 minute version. The episodic format made the pruning process relatively simple, so cut were the opening sequences, the Oxford flashback, the 2 full episodes titled The Dreadful Business of the Naked Honeymooners at 15 minutes, and The Curious Case of the Upside Down Room at 30 minutes. We only hope that the full-length footage can one day be restored, and the full print is not currently thought to exist.
Damn.
Yeah, definitely. Originally, the scenes of the Loch Ness Monster were intended to be filmed in actual loch. A life-size prop was built of Nessie, used with pumps and everything as a splash flotation device. The humps were removed, however, to Billy Wilder's request. And I think he's just saying like it sank and everything, and how like the submarine was and how Loch Ness was lost, and it was just discovered recently. The subplot in which Sherlock Holmes is approached by a famous ballerina who wishes to follow her child is inspired by a real-life incident in which George Bernard Shaw once approached a notorious dancer, Isidore Duncan, who told him that if they had a child together, it would have my beauty and your brains. Shaw rebuffed her quickly and saying, "Ah, yes, dear lady, but what if it was my beauty and your brains instead?" In this movie, Sherlock Holmes uses a rather different method of putting the lady off, which means he told him he was gay. She was gay. Or he was gay, yeah.
Yep.
And writer-director Billy Wilder once said of this movie from a book that Cameron Crowe wrote, Conversations with Wilder, "When I came back from Paris, it was an absolute disaster. The way it was cut, the whole prologue was cut, half a sequence was cut, and I had tears in my eyes as I looked at the thing. It was the most elegant picture I ever shot."
Wow.
Yeah. So 2 movies that both got screwed by the editing by the studio. Yeah. One because of the Hays Codes, and the other one because it was just too long and the studio execs couldn't afford it.
Damn.
Yeah,
that sucks,
man. Been way better. Damn.
I'd excuse me. I'd blame myself, but it's easier to blame you in the fact that you've already seen Double Indemnity.
I'm sorry I went to film school, TJ. Okay.
That's fucked up of you.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
that's
so
a bummer, though.
Yeah, that's definitely.
Because honestly, the you mentioned that it's got all the cut stuff. It has a lot of potential.
Yeah.
To be much more than what it actually was.
Definitely, and we get to find out like his past. That sounds amazing. The Dreadful Business of the Naked Honeymooners.
Yeah.
The Curious Case of the Upside Down Room. I don't even know what the fuck the Upside Down Room was. Was there an Upside Down Room in the movie?
Not that I remember.
I don't remember it at all.
No, that's a bummer because, again, I chose these movies because Billy Wilder's got such a legend about him, and I'd never seen any of his movies, and it's a bummer that the first 2 I chose are such duds, right?
Yeah.
So, we'll see.
Maybe the third one will be good. Who knows?
Here's hoping.
Maybe that musical will be great.
Yeah, here's hoping.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was the private life of Sherlock Holmes.
Mm-hmm.
Not really that private, but we don't really know his life, so
Yeah.
whatever. Okay. Sorry, whatever. Okay, so I guess we should figure out what movie we're doing next, TJ.
Sure.
Let's do it.
Sounds good.
Movies.
We gotta get 20 years, I'm sure.
Hopefully. Let's see. Let's spin the wheel, make the deal, people. Here we go. Don't let one we already chosen, please. The Private Life of Sherlock Holmes.
No,
wait
not
a
again.
minute. I think we just did that.
Not again.
Let's do it again. Let's see. I swear to God. Paprika.
Paprika.
Get ready
Okay.
for some fucked up shit, TJ.
Oh, I
it is
can't
gonna
wait.
be great.
I
So yeah,
can't wait.
next few weeks, Paprika. Get ready prepared for some fucked up shit and some really cool anime.
All right,
Okay.
cool. That'll be a
I
nice
am-
departure.
Yeah, I am Mo, and I would say that cocaine did not calm me down in one bit.
And I am TJ, and this cocaine is making me thirsty.
Okay, let's have.
This cocaine is making me thirsty.
Okay, let's have Bob and Mitchum play us out. Oh wait, hold on. Before that, if you like us, please like and subscribe and comment.
Don't use cocaine.
Don't use cocaine. Follow us on YouTube, on SoundCloud, and on Spotify. Yes, Spotify. We're on Twitter at @it_dammit. So if you want to find out when the next episode is being posted, please go to that. And we have a Facebook page called It's Dude and Us, which we cannot use damn it for some reason in Facebook. So that sucks.
A lot of wet blankets over
A lot of
there
web
on
blankets,
Facebook.
definitely, yes. So please comment to us, talk to us, say we suck, say that this Twitter page is very unfunny and uninspiring. Do something.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need some feedback. So
You know what I use Facebook for?
What?
I only use it for the events, the parties that I'll be invited to.
Yeah.
You can invite people to parties on Facebook.
Yeah, you should do that to us. Invite us on Facebook. Yes.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, definitely. So tune into Paprika in the coming weeks, and hope you enjoy this episode. Let's have Bob and Mitchum play us out.